Ooh, we're up by 3. Just Hall and Pacheco. Just need Hall to get 3 less points. Pacheco hasn't been used that much. I'm sure we'll be fine.
Pacheco almost got in the backfield. Instead, into the open field and accelerating. Pacheco in for the touchdown. The Jersey Kid back in his home state.
All right, we are back bringing you the news for week 4 into 5. Adam, we had a couple trades. Let's hear them.
First one involved me.
Look at you go.
I gave Cortland Sutton and my 2026 second, and I got Cherry's 2026 first.
So off the bat, I don't hate the trade. I think you did get a decent value.
This was before last week.
Yeah.
But after we recorded this.
I think I texted you separately. I said I don't hate it, but your division is the weakest it might ever be. I say I'm a little confused. Maybe it is capitalizing when Sutton's value is the highest. You know, you don't know what's going to happen when Jerry Jeudy gets back to 100%, if he's going to be 100%. I was a little confused, but I also know that you know what you're doing, because there have been times where I'm like, I don't know why you did this, man, and then it completely works in your favor.
Like trading DeAndre Swift.
Well, that one.
That
one wasn't that great.
Yeah, I don't know. I get the whole point of the division being weak, but again, I still think I could get to the playoffs with my team that is there now. And it's also like, man, even if I get there, you're still having to face your division in the playoffs. So it's like, not always just like, hey man, can I get there? Granted, anything could happen, but when you're facing some of these stacked rosters and you're not, like, I don't know. I think it's a little iffy.
Yeah.
And it's also for Sutton. I traded him after a 19-point week. He then put up 11. He's been playing a lot of snaps and kind of been the number one guy there. He did have 11 targets the week I traded him, but he also has 3 touchdowns in 4 games, and I don't know if he's just going to keep catching touchdowns, and I think if the touchdowns go, like a 4 for 32 game isn't super exciting. A 3 for 27 game isn't super exciting. So, and the Broncos are... Sutton's been so annoying to own. I traded for him and I was like, man, tore his ACL, and that's when I got him. But like the year before, he was like a 1,000-yard receiver and just like a dog. And then since then, it's kind of just been ups and downs of like, hey, Jeudy didn't play. Oh, he put up 20. That's really good. And then it would be like, oh, he put up 4 points in 3 straight weeks. And then it's like, oh, 2 great weeks, and so up and down that I finally was like, I'm going to take it off this roller coaster and move on. And then I did have to throw in a second for a first. I think I maybe could have gotten more, and I maybe sold myself a little short. I was like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of fair, but I think maybe Cherry slightly won this deal as of now.
Yeah, as of right now, obviously there's a lot of season left.
And it's also like, this could be horrible for me or great for me. 2026 picks are so far away that like, if Cherry wins that year and I'm dead last and I moved up 1 spot, that's gonna be sad.
Yeah.
But also like, if Cherry, like if we both finish in the middle and I move up a whole round, it's like, yeah, that's not as bad. And if Cherry sucks and it's a top pick, like it could be look great for me, but those picks are so far away, it's kind of tough to tell. But then the next trade we got, Steve and Trevor. Trevor got A.J. Dillon, 2025 second and a 2025 third. Steve got Dawson Knox and Jerome Ford.
This was another interesting move. A.J. Dillon has not looked good.
Yeah, no.
No. And Dawson Knox also has not looked good. Dawson Knox had a big week too.
A.J. Dillon's averaging 2.68 yards per carry on 44 attempts.
Dawson Knox is, I think, averaging 3 fantasy points a week. 4 maybe. Yeah, it's 19.
4.95.
Yeah. But
I do like Jerome Ford, especially for
yeah.
the rest of this year, and who knows if he gets another contract. He did put up 24 when Chubb went down, and then 20 the next week, and then 10-ish the week after. So he's also, I think what's good is he's getting a lot of the receiving work.
yeah, he has last game he had 5 receptions on 6 targets for 19 yards. Right there, that's 6.19 points.
Yeah. So I think that's good, but it's also, this is the part of the year where Trevor always just starts getting some picks. I think I said that like last week when he made a trade that was very similar. He had like no picks a few weeks ago, and now he has 3 seconds and 2/3. And then I'll also probably wait to the deadline and trade those picks and go get Joe Mixon or someone to then add to his team, and then like a lot of moving pieces around to trading away some of these younger guys that are okay, getting picks, and then either keeping them and then drafting pretty well, like you got C.J. Stroud late second this year, or getting some young guys. So, but I also do like it for Steve. Steve in a decent position at 2-2. Adding Ford, I think Ford could be a pretty consistent starter moving forward. Like him next to James Conner isn't the worst duo, and then I
No.
don't think Steve has a horrible team. And again, you mentioned weak division, already at 2 wins, could possibly find himself.
Yeah,
In
you just
the
gotta
playoffs.
stave off Matt, James, yourself,
Me, Jasmus.
and Jasmus.
Just needs to be one of them.
Yep.
And then next trade happened today. Zach traded Brian Robinson and my 2024 second for Matt's 2025 first. So Brian Robinson lasted
What, 3 days?
no, September 19th to October 5th. A few weeks.
That did not seem like that long ago. Well, I know it like is a couple weeks.
I traded him after week 2, and now it's week 5.
All right, this season's kind of moving quickly. I just kind of realized that. I thought like the Brian Robinson trade you guys did was like last week.
Yeah, it's flying by. We're getting like more than a third of the way through the season.
Like I know because Gridiron Heights posted their quarter season carnival video, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this just started.
Yeah, it just started. And
I
it's
keep always saying,
close
oh,
to
you know,
being
it was a
over.
long season, a lot of stuff left. And I'm like, no, not really.
Yeah. So what do you think about the trade?
Is it if I'm not mistaken, isn't it very similar value to what you got for him?
Yeah,
I can't. Use
I
the
got
trade
a
history.
I got a 2026 first instead, but I gave up a third instead of a second. So in reality, Zach traded his 2026 first and my 2024 second for my 2025 third and Matt's 2025 first. So he moved up a year in the first, but gave up a second and got a third.
That's math, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, yeah, you get to pick a year earlier, and Matt again. Like next year, who knows how Matt's team is going to be? Could be a really high pick. Could be decent, as he's kind of shown to be okay this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that's like a high pick, and then 2026, he misses, and it like he moved up a year that way, that's not bad. A recycling of a player to move up a year in a first, sure. And then for Matt, again, I think Matt's seeing that beat me last week that we'll talk about soon.
Yeah.
Currently sitting in the playoffs thinking, hey, maybe I grab another running back and could help this team to see the playoffs. And also getting my second this year. I'm, again, sitting at 1-3. Could miss the playoffs, and if that's an early second, could possibly get a decent player
It's
there.
okay, buddy. You still got to play me. That's at least one more win.
True. That's what I'm looking forward to.
speaking of how bad I am, let's get over to power rankings.
You're number 12.
Yeah, I knew it.
But hey, man, broke 100.
Life is crazy, man.
Things are looking
Sat
up.
there just like, hey, we kind of got a shot. And then, as I'm sure you saw in the intro, I saw that long run and went, man, we broke 100.
Yeah, it's
God, dude.
it's been interesting. Hall has been probably very frustrating to own, as he looks good but then just doesn't get touches.
Yeah, like I was sitting there watching that Chiefs Jets game, and I'm sitting there. Okay, Brees Hall is averaging 7 yards a carry tonight. Added 3 receptions. It's a tie game. Why don't we run some clock down? No, we're gonna keep pumping Zach Wilson throws like it's nothing.
Here comes Bobby down the stairs.
Hey, we're making his return to Sock Talk for the first time in 2023. It is
Bobby down
Bobby.
the
These are
stairs.
the loudest stairs ever.
Yeah, they are
yeah,
some
they're
loud
pretty loud.
stairs.
Get your ass in here. We're talking about how bad my team is.
The Panthers?
No. Having a rough year, guys. All right, give me a break. Between the War Eagles and Panthers, we're a combined 0-8.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great, but
Yeah, Hall's been frustrating. But Watson came back.
Watson came back, and I remember having a discussion with Steve, and he was telling me, he's like, hey, Dobbs is the new number 1 in Green Bay. And I said, listen, man, say what you want to say about Dobbs. He's looked pretty good. But Watson getting the red zone look and 3 other targets while playing, I think, 37% of snaps is promising. 46. So less than half of the snaps, getting 4 targets, and including in the red zone a play that was pretty much schemed to get him the ball there. I'll take that.
Yeah, I think you got some potential for a better second half. They said Brees is going to get more of a full workload.
Thank
And also, man, his schedule after the bye
Looks good.
looks appetizing, so he could start going off there. Watson, also in that same kind of time frame, looks like he's got some good matchups, plus a little bit more healthy there. Flowers has looked good. Komet's been playing well. It's just trying to figure out that flex spot.
I can't pick the right one. I refuse to. Every week I start a different Panthers receiver, and then another one goes off, and then I switch it around, and then it's... Why did I do this to myself?
I don't know, man.
I said I'm not going to get Mingo, and then I trade up to get Mingo, because I watched Old Miss highlights and was like, man, I'm ready to get going there.
Yeah, but
And
for now, you remain winless and at the bottom. Number 11, we got James. James, bad week.
yeah, but if there's a week to have a bad week,
I don't know what happened with Debo, but he only had 3 carries.
I think he
and
got
no targets. Did he?
I-
He played 87% of snaps.
never mind.
They just didn't throw him the ball once. Not even a target. Pickens, not much. That was the game Pickett got hurt, so things kind of got ugly there. It's just an ugly week, and James has not been off to the hottest of starts.
Well, James, good news. You get to try your luck again this week against noted beatable team Zach.
Yeah, again, that schedule does get pretty light. Right now he has the easiest remaining schedule for points for, looking at everybody's. And he's rest of season strength of schedule is based on record is 0.375, which is the lowest in the league. So he's got more winnable games in the future, getting the bad weeks out now, and maybe he could,
Who knows? Maybe he pulls a Trevor and just rips off like 6 straight.
yeah, maybe not that, but probably not this week with Zach.
Hey,
but
James, if it makes you
maybe
feel
in
better,
the future.
if it makes you feel better, you got to play me at least once still.
10. I have Jasmus. Jasmus took you down
He did.
on the back of Pacheco.
The fucking Jets, dude.
Yeah, they're really bad against the run. And also,
And they're really bad at running the ball.
and it's also A-Chain. How do you rank A-Chain for the rest of the season?
I mean, he's a must start. Like he might be set and forget territory.
Top 5. He's
looked great.
6 touchdowns in the past 2 weeks.
He has more touchdowns than the Pittsburgh Steelers do
He's averaging
as a
like
team.
he's averaging like 10 yards per carry. Do you think it slows down this week against the Giants?
No,
I hope so.
no, no.
But I don't
The
know.
answer is no.
He might not be able to keep it up this whole time, and he's probably going to have some down weeks, but this looks like a home run pick and a very good player. Plus, Cooper Kupp kind of trending towards playing. Then once he gets Eckler back too off injury, the team has a brighter future, but I still think, I don't know, man. Like, you look at the wide receiver 3, and who could it be? If everyone's healthy and it's Amari and it's Kupp, then it's Zay Jones,
Maybe Jarvis
Kendrick Bourne. Like,
Jarvis Landry signs somewhere.
I don't know. It seems like he's got some very solid players and then some okay guys and then nothing. As we've kind of seen with an injury to start the year to Kupp, it hasn't been well. Number 9, myself. I had a bad week last week
You
too.
had a stinker.
I hardly know her.
Yeah, this kind of was just all the Vikings' fault. Kirk played bad. I threw for 139 yards. None of that went to Jordan
he
Addison,
must
who I
have-
started.
He must have lost.
No. Yeah, and then Kyle Pitts, they hate.
All right, Pitts for my third.
No. The only good player was DJ Moore. Wonder if he has a good week this week.
Like, wouldn't it be crazy if he dropped like 49 this week?
That would be nuts. That would be
That'd be
really
wild.
nice. But yeah, it was just a down week. I think my team will be better in the future, getting like Saquon healthy and stuff. But
And maybe DJ Moore drops 49.
yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
8, Evan. The power rankings are weird because there's like tier, big tier, and then a big tier. And we're in that middle tier right now with Evan. He also didn't have a great week, only put up 91. Gibbs, again, just doesn't get used a ton.
You're telling me Dan Campbell isn't like a young running backs?
Young, explosive running back. Shocking. And then all of his, like, he just had a bad week. Everybody just did fine. Judy only 8. Waddle only 8. Waller.
Jalen
Has
Waddle
been
has
bad.
been kind of a disappointment this season. 11 and 12 isn't terrible, but I feel like Waddle is better than that. And then obviously missing a week with a concussion doesn't look cool.
Yeah.
And then only 4 catches last week.
Yeah.
You're getting outscored by Braxton Berrios. There might be an issue there.
Yeah. I do think Evan's team is fun. It's fine. But he's also very much talked about selling. So we'll see who's actually on his team come next week's time. Or, like, he's had Sanders on the block, Waller on the block, Hopkins on the block, Judy on the block. That sounds like a song.
Yeah. Jenny on the block.
Jenny on the block, that's the one. I wonder if Jenny is on the block. But,
We'll have to ask Evan.
yeah. We'll see if he sells or if he sticks with the team he's got. And then also, does he sell one of these, like, will he sell a Waddle and try to get, like, a huge package, or will he just keep him around and look forward to future years? 7, I have Matt. Matt beat me. Didn't break
I played one of
100.
you guys.
I don't know, man. It's not how the cookie crumbles.
There's
But,
a spider on my leg. Get the fuck out of here.
Khalil Herbert had a great week.
Right when Roshan was like creeping up in carries.
James Cook looked good too. Garrett Wilson, 14 targets. If Zach Wilson could play like he did on Sunday night, that would make me very happy as a Jets fan and would probably help Garrett Wilson's rest of the season a lot.
Matt's also a Jets fan.
True. He would probably also enjoy it. Double as much. Laporta didn't have a insane week, but still put up 9. Still good for tight end 2 on the year. But his flexes, too, look a little rough. Jaleel McLaughlin looks sick. I wonder if he gets any run this week. And, it's Matt, and he's 2-2. Good for him. 6. Never thought I'd say this at the start of the year, but I have Steve.
Did take a loss, but it wasn't like he put up an absolute stinker.
Yeah, put up 113, and that was with Jerick McKinnon putting up 0.7. Richardson looks like an absolute stud. He's been dominant in the games he's played in, and is probably must start like here on out. Could be in that next tier of like elite QBs. Terry had a pretty big week. Dobbs has looked really good all season too. I know you kind of mentioned that earlier, but he's put up 18 in 3 of the 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So pretty consistent. Kirk got 12 targets, which is what you want out of Christian Kirk. Not that he's kind of been every other week so far. Besides week 3, he didn't have a ton of targets, but he caught the touchdown to still like kind of save his fantasy week. And Kincaid, his snaps have kind of gone down, but then also kind of bounced back last week on like passing snaps.
Yeah.
So like the snap percentage wasn't there, but when they were throwing the ball, he was on the field a lot more than some of the previous weeks. So we'll see if he kind of gets it going. But yeah, Steve doesn't look like a pushover anymore. And yeah, we made fun of you when you lost to Steve, but his team looks a little more respectable now. And I think a loss to Steve's no longer a free win on the...
No, I don't think it's a free win. That being said, if you lose to Steve, we will be making fun of you.
Understandable.
This will be 3 straight weeks where the cold opens about how much I suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5, we have Zach. It was hard to pick who would be out of 5 out of these teams, but he lost. But McCaffrey put up 48.7.
Yeah.
That's
impressive.
Probably going to be the most points scored all year.
Yeah, I would say so. That might be the most points scored. Like, I don't even think, like, anyone's going to top it this coming week.
Yeah, no way. This will stand for a while for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the rest of his team didn't do much. Mike Evans got banged up, pulled a hammy. Aaron Jones, since coming back from injury that week, did not play well. Only put up 2. Kittle only got 1 target. It seems like a weird week for the 49ers. I think with not a lot of Kittle. I mean, it was all McCaffrey, so not a lot of Kittle or Debo, really. Rest of the team just kind of did fine. McCaffrey is the only reason why it kind of made it even look this close. With a normal McCaffrey week, only 20 points. Yeah, he's probably not breaking.
A terrible McCaffrey week.
Yeah. Only barely, or maybe not even breaking 100. So that's why I put him here.
I'm not going to lie. It might be time for Zach to get off the Joe Burrow train.
Burrow, yeah,
Burrow has not cracked 10 points in 2 weeks.
He's a statue in the pocket. His calf's just not there. He can't move at all, and he only throws to his first read or basically just like bails on the play. And
or bubble screens it.
Yeah, it's not been great for
He's pissing off
Joe
T.
Burrow.
Higgins. He's pissing off Jamar Chase.
Yeah. But
Pissing off Bengals fans.
Zach's team is also still really solid, and I expect him to bounce back this week. 4, I have Trevor. Trevor put up the most points this week. 176, exploded. Feel low putting him at 4, but he is just 2-2. But Jacobs with 27, Kyron with 27, AJ Brown 38, Puka put up 31 again, and he
It's-
put up
it's crazy.
176 with tight end and the flex combining for 12 points.
Yeah, like that's actually insane.
Like this could have, if he got average weeks out of Pittman, Higgins, and Hawk, like he probably would have broke 100, 200. And he's also adding Jonathan Taylor to this team.
We're fucked.
Yeah. But for here, what do you think Puka's outlook's going to be with Cooper Kupp coming back?
Personally, I don't think we're going to see Puka disappear from the offense. I don't think he's going to see 10 targets a game. But I think that Stafford has a more reliable target than he's had. Like last year, it was kind of Cooper Kupp or nobody.
Yeah.
I think this year you have guys that, can be reliable targets and not be like, oh, let's hope Ben Skowronek catches this one.
Yeah. I do think Puka will still be good. I think Kupp might not be as good as previous years. Might be a little bit more spread out between both of them, or like one having a huge week and one doing okay. But Stafford's been playing really well. They're not going to not use either of them, but it might not be 30-point weeks every other week for them, and maybe more like one put up 12, one put up 20, and kind of flip-flopping back and forth.
Yeah.
3, we have Ethan, won last week,
Blasted James.
on the back of Diggs. 3 touchdowns, 36 points.
I mean, that's going to be even hard to beat this week.
Yeah. And then Derrick Henry had a huge week. First game over 100 yards on the ground with a touchdown.
Threw for a touchdown.
Threw for a touchdown, too, also.
One of 2 running backs this week to throw for a touchdown. You know who the second one was?
Justin Fields.
No.
That's my guess.
I don't think you'll guess it.
Who?
Devin Singletary.
Nice. Yeah, but Ethan's good, and this is another one where did fine, but also didn't really have that great of a week. Olave only had 1 catch. I don't think that's going to be a normal occurrence.
I wouldn't hate it.
He's
Not because I don't like Ethan. I don't like the Saints.
It's official. Ryan hates Ethan.
I never even met Ethan.
It's official. He never wants to either.
No, I never said that.
But yeah, Javonte kind of got banged up too, but looks questionable for this week, so not super serious. Coming in at number 2, one of the remaining undefeateds, Cherry. Again, this is another team I don't think we necessarily would have thought would have been up here, unless he traded a bunch of firsts away and stacked his team. But he didn't have to do that. He traded 1 away,
Yeah.
but still has more to trade if he wants to.
Nico Collins, man.
Yeah, Nico Collins, huge week. Looks like
35
kind of
points. That's hard to top, especially if this week.
Yeah. But yeah, he's had 3 really big weeks so far. 14, 27, 5, and then 35. 5 was the Tank Dell week. But Nico looks like a set-it-forget-it starter. Obviously, Bijan's still Bijan. Kenneth Walker in not as impressive showing. Still found the end zone and put up...
Hey, man, if I had a running back that got 13 points, I would fucking take it.
Yeah, still put up a good week. And kind of the whole team, he had no one on his team under 10. It's if you could do that, you're scoring 90 points at least.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Still,
Well, you can go above 90.
You did last week. I didn't.
That's right. I thought those were rarities, though.
It'll be interesting when Jameson Williams comes back, kind of what his role is going to be for the Lions, which is this week because you got that shortened suspension.
I'll be in Detroit to see him return. So,
what do you think his role is going to kind of be there? Do you think he'll be...
I think to start off, you have already established Amon-Ra St. Brown. That being said, you did use a first round pick on Jamison Williams. That also being said, you used a very early first round pick on Jahmyr Gibbs, and his usage seems to be minimal. I think,
And Sam Laporta.
yeah,
Like, there's a lot of mouths to feed. Who's gonna...
one of the things I think he's going to be a field stretcher, where Amon Ra is kind of the route running guy. I think they can use Jamison Williams' speed to their advantage, stretch the field a little bit, give the defense something to think about. Maybe he gets loose on one of those go routes.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what he'll kind of be, just like, hey, run really fast deep and draw
A safety.
attention, and then the other guys are just even more open, Laporte up the seams or Amon around those, like, 13-yard ins, or will they kind of get him involved a little more? Because last year he did not do a ton, but this is a new year. And then number 1, we have Griff. Griff has been dominant to start the year.
He has been.
His total record, if you had him versus every team, 41-3.
That's pretty damn good.
There's only 3 games he would have lost through 4 weeks all year, so he's basically been either the top scorer or top 2 in every week.
I mean, who knows? Maybe the guy playing him this week could beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who's he play this week?
But, yeah, I regret trading Swift. Swift's so good. It makes me sad that now he's on a team that uses him, and I didn't get to reap the rewards of that. I was like, man, everybody will use him like the Lions, but nope, the Lions just use any running back they have.
I mean, hey,
like
week
that.
1, that trade was looking really good for you.
Yeah. Andrews had 2 touchdowns. Ayuk put up 20. Amon-Ra found the end zone. Jefferson was the only Vikings pass catcher to do anything, and that was 2 touchdowns. And then, yeah, Mostert and Pollard only put up 5.5 and 9. And Tank Dell in the flex put up 3.9, and he still put up 161. Kamara looked really good. Kinda. He had 14 targets, 13 receptions. So, in
13
PPR,
points right
that's
there.
really good. If he keeps getting used like that, that'll be very nice. Didn't even play Godwin, who had a good week. His team is very good and just dominant.
Now let's go preview those matchups. We'll be right back. And we are back with matchup previews. Just to give a little prep work, as we kind of alluded to a lot in power rankings, we kind of already saw the Thursday night game, so these guesses are going to be a little skewed with the percentages just because stuff did happen. Turns out 48 was a good target to beat because DJ Moore did it with 49.
Yeah. We're not going to, like, super kind of go off now and last week or, like, what it was. I don't know. We're going to kind of be fair, but it's whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So, Adam, what happened last week?
Here. Last week, for the matchups wise, Ethan got the series win and point differential over James. Zach and Cherry are 4-4 all time against each other. Trevor reaches 50 wins. He's the first in the league to do so.
Wide receiver U does run this league.
He did it in 80 games. So
It's pretty good.
50-30. Not bad. Griff scored the same exact points, basically, in both matchups with Steve. He's first scored 162.72, and then this time he scored 161.7. So a 0.5 difference in
You heard it here
his 2
first,
games
folks. The
versus
Devil
Steve.
Rays hate the crayon.
And then Jasmus tied up the series with you 3-3, and me and Matt are 4-4 all time. And I'm the only team that Matt has a 500 record against. Everyone else he's under.
Matt's got your number, dude.
I suck. And then for us, last week, I went 2-1. You went 1-2. So you only pulled home the Griffin win for 3.1 points. I got Trevor and Ethan for 7.1, bringing the total. I'm at 38.6. You're at 32.7, so I'm up about 6 points. So you've got some
Got some catching up
catching
to do.
up to do. So who will be your first pick?
Well, let me tell you one thing. I'm looking at these matchups. There's something all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Gladiators over wide receiver U to get 5.4 points from what we saw. Dotson only got 6, which you might think is a little low. You might think that Trevor can bounce back, but I do like Henry versus Indianapolis. I like ETN versus Buffalo, who's been having a hard time stopping the run, regardless of how good they've been this year. Chase versus Arizona draws an interesting matchup as well, along with Diggs versus Jacksonville. Not sure who's healthy in the New England secondary for Chris Olave. And Travis Kelce is indeed Travis Kelce. And just because I like the matchups a little bit better, I am going to be taking Ethan to upset wide receiver U.
That's I feel like this matchup could go either way. They're both very good teams. Again, it'll be interesting, like what Taylor's situation's kind of like. If he does play, how much does he play in like the first week back? Tennessee's decent run defense, so don't know kind of how it's going to go there. Same thing with like Puka that we touched on earlier. But yeah, I think this is like a pretty 50-50. You would get 5.2 points if Ethan wins, so matchup because we're going off before.
Oh, off before. Okay. Probably pull those up as well, then. Continue.
5.2. So again, pretty 50-50. That's what the app thinks, and I'm sure this will make you feel good. But Trevor has won every regular season matchup versus Ethan. His only loss came in the 2021 playoffs.
In the championship, I believe.
No, that one
it was the semifinals. Or even the first round, I think.
Yeah, second round, I think. But yeah, so he did win. They are 1-1 in their last 2. But yeah, Trevor's 4-1 all time, 172.74 point differential. My first pick, I'm gonna go with me.
As we just saw, DJ Moore getting the big 4-9.
Yeah, he did. So this would be for how many?
This would be for 5.3 points. So it seems
I did.
I might have fucked up.
You'll be fine. But yeah, DJ Moore looked good. I have hope that Kirk Cousins and Jordan Addison don't put up like 8 total points this week between them two. I think they see a little bit of a bounce back. Plus, there's been talk of Evan selling. So, again, before Sunday, we could see some trades pop off. Miles Sanders could be off this team. Hopkins could be off this team. Waller could be off this team. Who really knows if that does happen? Again, that just leans even more in my favor. And then plus, Devonta Smith against the Rams. Rams defense has been solid so far. And hopefully one of my tight ends could do decent. And then there's still the big question of Saquon. Will he play? Will he be limited? Won't he play? So if I get him in my lineup, I think that just looks even better for me.
Yeah.
And then me and Evan, we're following a nice little pattern here. Where is it? What? Where's the pattern? Yeah. Evan won the first time we played, then I won 2. Then Evan won 1, then I've won 2. So I guess Evan should win this one. According to this pattern of him winning once and then me winning twice. But this is also we're playing twice this year. This is already the second time, and I did win the first one, so can I do it again?
I guess we'll have to see. My next matchup, I'm going to be taking Cherry over Matt for exactly 4 points. As we saw tonight, Antonio Gibson got 10. Matt did get 15 from Brian Robinson and Khalil Herbert. But what hurts Matt is that Darnell Mooney had 4 targets, 0 receptions, 0 rushing yards, 0 passing yards, 0 tackles, 0 interceptions. Got 0. Did nothing.
Yeah, that's not great.
That's not great. Plus, Bijan versus Houston, much like hit the Falcons. Houston run defense ain't anything special. Also like Nico Collins versus Atlanta secondary. And I wonder when we're gonna get off the Durham Smythe train. But who knows?
He didn't play last week, but now Njoku's on a bye, so he's back.
He's back, baby. Durham Smythe will lead the Steamrollers to victory. You heard it here first.
Yeah, Cherry has won 5 straight in the regular season. Matt's 2 wins are versus Cherry in the 2019 playoffs. And 2018 week 1, which was technically still Richie at the time, but I
Yeah.
have Richie and Cherry together because it was like
2 weeks.
2 weeks, so I'm not giving Richie his own thing. Like,
We thought we were gonna have to blow up the dynasty after week 2 because we're like, all right, we can't have people leaving already.
yeah, but I definitely like Cherry here. But you've also for sure made a mistake, because now I'm gonna take Jasmine.
Oh, fuck me. I
For a cool 5.4 points.
Oh, fuck, I missed that one. Big time.
I was leaning Jasmine pre this game just because I think we got the percentages when we weren't even sure if Cup was playing, but it's only looked more like Cup is going to play. If that does happen, that gives him a huge boost at the wide receiver position. It goes from like Allen Robinson to Cooper Kupp. I think if Kupp doesn't play, this still could be a really close matchup, which it does kind of seem like he's playing. And I'm not going to rule out Steve. Curtis Samuel did put up 18. Terry only did put up like 9. Justin Fields had a good week, but Richardson, again, could easily match that.
Yeah.
It kind of depends. Will McKinnon be used, and also will A-Chain have a huge week or not?
Right now, they're against the Giants.
Yeah, Giants are not the best so far, so... Okay.
Wait, it's about our Frosties.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. It's weird. But then, yeah. I think this will be a close matchup, even though right now the percentages are a little different. Do you want a McDonald's milkshake?
Sure.
Bobby is getting us food.
Yeah. That Bobby made his appearance earlier and
Went to get food.
went to get food.
Okay, and then we'll keep going. Jasmine's basically doubled Steve's score in their last matchup.
So if history repeats itself.
History does repeat itself. Yeah, he put up 167 to Steve's 84, which means he won by 82.96. So, almost double him last time. Don't think he doubles it again. Think it's a really close matchup, but I do still think Jasmine pulls out the win. What are you going with for your last pick? You have...
That stinks. I really blew the big one. I got 2 shit matchups. I'm gonna do it. You might be saying, Christopher, one in the power rankings. There's no way that number 12 beats him. But you're forgetting Cole Kmet got 15 points.
Roshan Johnson.
We don't talk about him. Christian Watson is back and questionable. Gabe Davis against Jacksonville gonna have a field day. Brees Hall against the Broncos might have 60. That being said, I'm still losing to Griffin. I'm taking Griffin.
I was gonna pick you.
Were you actually?
Yeah, I was gonna pick you. So I was hoping you went with
It would have
the other
been a
matchup
bold
there.
call.
what you want to. Yeah.
Yeah. Would have been a bold call, but it's not looking great for me. It's not. So I will take my 3.6 points.
That's a
2.6 points.
2.6.
A 2-pointer.
Yeah, I was gonna go with you, based off only the fact that again we just talked about Griff is so good,
It'd be so funny.
and you've been so bad. But I do think like Brees could have a huge week, and I really, it's the fact that like my brain works and like man, he had like 4 good weeks in a row. He's gotta
Yeah.
be due for a bad week at some point. It's likely, but the point differential was so big that it's like, man, that swing, I would have took it. It also helps that
did.
I do have the lead.
Yeah.
So you're definitely a little bit more consistent odds. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you've played Griff the most.
This is, I think,
This
our
is the 9th time.
ninth time, yeah.
And it's also the person you have the most losses against.
I've only
with,
beaten him twice.
6, yeah. And Griff is also going for his 50th win.
So he'd be 1 week behind Trevor.
But this would be his 79th game. So he'd do it after, but in less games.
One less game.
So you decide which is more impressive, doing it first or doing it in less games.
Doing it against me.
But he also needs to get the win for that to happen. We're talking like you're not even here.
Well, now I gotta get back to my locker room. We got some fucking motivation for this.
Yeah,
week.
not
Can
let
I
him
change
get
my
to 50.
pick?
And you did win the last matchup.
I
And
did.
and it hurt him because he did
didn't-
not get the bye because of it.
Yeah.
And that was Taysom Hill. Are you going to pull out Taysom Hill this week?
Is that my flex?
Might have to be.
Do I put him at QB? That was actually like last week when Derek Carr was hurt. I was like, do I put Taysom Hill in my flex?
No.
Do I bust out the Taysom Hill play this week?
All right.
Or do I go back to the Kadarius Toney well?
Man, your well is
Dry.
dry. Yeah. It is.
But I also feel like I gotta put a Panthers receiver in because I'm gonna be at the Panthers game.
Yeah, need something to root for.
Yeah.
Besides just the team that you're rooting for.
Need a dog in this fight.
It is interesting that we are now like reaching bye weeks. How much that could like change the outlook of a team.
Yeah.
Like Evan missing Herbert and I had to go with Sam Howell, but still put up 25. It's like okay, survive that. A lot of people, it's like diving a little bit deeper, really going to see what that depth bench looks like for a lot of these teams when they need to fill in for some of these stars. So it always kind of changed the way teams are kind of looked at and makes it a little harder. Also, if like I have 3 buys and I'm playing someone that has like no one on a buy, so it's like I'm a little weak, makes these matchups a little more interesting and a little bit harder. And then for our last matchup, I'm going to take Zach for 3.4 points. Yeah, I think Zach gets the bounce back this week. James, his good players have some tough matchups. Houston's pass defense has actually done pretty well, and the Falcons don't like to pass.
Oh shit! Jasmine's cut Jarvis Landry.
Just now.
Yeah. Well, 5 hours ago, but we missed it. I brought up Jarvis Landry earlier.
Rip the guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, Madison, the Vikings versus Kansas City. I don't expect them to win or run the ball a ton. Because they're probably going to be trailing. Yeah, that just Houston-Atlanta game seems gross. It's for Pierce and London. I guess, like, some of these other guys could have big weeks, but then again, you're going up against Zach. David Montgomery's been very good.
The guy.
CeeDee, Devontae.
Oh god, I gotta watch him run all over the field Sunday.
Joe Mixon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
McCaffrey, who just put up.
James. One more week and then you're out of the woods until
then,
week 10.
Then that schedule really opens up for him, but not yet, and I'm not going to trust that yet. Zach won his first matchup this year when they already played, just like me and Evan. They're already on matchup 2 of the year by 61 points. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Making the all-time point differential 2.16 in favor of Zach, and it's the first time Zach ever had a positive point differential against James. And Zach's actually won 3 of the last 4 after dropping the first 3, so he still, I believe, has a losing record. Yeah, he's 3-4, looking to make that 4-4, tie it up, and I think
I just want to get
pulls it out
to the point where we have a matchup where it's like, yeah, they are dead even in point differential, and they're both like 6-6.
I don't think that'll
Ever happen?
It'll be rare, to
Yeah.
say the least. But like this 2.16 is very close. One of the closest that we probably have in the league. Oh. Yeah. I don't know. I think Evan might have a close on with someone. He's close with a few. I don't know. But yeah, pretty close. Some good matchups.
Some good previews.
Some good previews. I'm definitely going to murder you this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Extend the lead.
It was... whatever, guys. If you got this far, thank you. If you watched it all, thank you. You're just not going to hear the thanks because you didn't watch this far. But I have a milkshake to go enjoy. And so does Adam.
Maybe not.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
But we'll be back.
We'll be back, maybe with or without a milkshake. Deuces.
I'm now getting 4 McFlurries for $10. Let's
go.
And we're back. So we're getting McFlurries, not milkshakes.
Not
but,
milkshakes.
Hey,
But oh shit, we're back. Bonus segment.
bonus segment. I wanted to bring this up earlier and then forgot, but I think this is a very interesting time to talk about it. What do you think the playoffs look like now? I know, like, when we ask for questions, which we've also forgot to do this year so far, it was always like, what do you think the playoffs look like? But,
I think that was kind of the reason, though. It's like every week it was like, who do you guys think makes the playoffs?
We'll ask for questions next week.
Next week. This is.
Start thinking now,
And if
then
it's
come up
who
with
do you
a
think is
good
going to be in the
question.
playoffs, you're just getting blocked.
Nice. And then, but going into the year, I thought it was like, the debate seemed in the spit division between Griff, Zach, Trevor, and Evan, with like, Trevor probably has the bye, Zach will probably be pretty good, Griff on the fence, Evan on the fence. But now we're sitting here, Griff's 4-0 has looked dominant, Cherry's also 4-0, Evan's team is hurt, and Trevor's also just sitting at 2-2. What 3 do you think can outlast and make it to the playoffs?
Okay, so Evan gets the bye, Ryan gets the 2 seed. Now, I am going to say it's going to be a 4... I'm going to have to say a 4-team dogfight. I'm always pro Anteaters, but just not looking like that their year right now. Team has a lot of season-ending injuries. But when you go back to the hot takes that I never posted, what was my hot take for Trevor? You remember what I said? Because I do. I said this is going to be the first year we're going to ask the question, is wide receiver you going to make the playoffs? And right now, he has the points to do it. Has to catch up record-wise. I think with the 4-0 start, you can almost pencil in Griffin and Cherry in the playoffs this year.
I am unsure.
But
It's only, like, they
That
do
being
have
said-
the lead.
but I think Cherry has also had a decently easier schedule.
Cherry, looking at the whole season for strength of schedule, he currently has the easiest in the league for the whole season.
Okay.
As of right now, remaining, he has the out of those 4 teams tied for the easiest with Zach in record wise, and the easiest looking at the opponent's .4 per game for the remainder of the season.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be Griffin and Cherry. It's going to be Trevor and Zach fighting for that final spot.
Also, with Zach trading Brian Robinson for a first, what do you think that kind of points to for his direction? Do you think he's saying, hey, I have a lot of running backs, I guess I don't need to pay him, and maybe he's not as good as I thought, let me go get a first, and then trade that first for someone? Or do you think he's, at this point, not, like, going to blow it up or anything, but starting to think, hey, I don't really have any picks, my team is old, is this the final run, and I need to start thinking about a little bit about the future? Or do you think he's going to then flip that pick as we're talking right now and go get maybe like a QB, because we were talking about how Burrow hasn't been as good, or something along the lines of that?
It's an interesting direction Zach could go in.
Because I don't think he should tear it down by any
No.
means with McCaffrey doing McCaffrey things.
All the former Panthers got to go off. You know, that's. I still think that with at least a game lead right now, Zach has the edge.
Yeah. We've also seen some little bit of bang-ups with, like, Adams has been questionable, shoulder, didn't practice Thursday this week. Mike Evans with a hamstring. Like, I wonder if things go wrong for these next few weeks, would he, like, say it's week 8 now, and he's 5-3, and Trevor's also 5-3 or something, and they're all sitting there, does he go, I need to buy more, or I don't know. I think it's an interesting position where, like, right now you just chill and continue to win games and likely make the playoffs and try to repeat, but I don't know. I thought it was interesting him going for a first and not, like, will he then flip that?
Yeah, he very well could. So if I had to ask you, Adam, what are the odds that the War Eagles make the playoffs? 0. You're saying it's not doable.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, like, I saw something, there's some chart out there that talks about, like, odds of making the playoffs with, like, an 0-2 start and then an 0-3 start, and it's already, like, in the teens. I don't know.
I'm just saying, we rattle off like 9 straight. Like,
Yeah, then
we might be able to do it.
Maybe. I also do want to touch on, like I said, Griff's all-play kind of record, 41-3. Trevor actually does have the second best with 36-8, and I think his schedule has just been a little bit unlucky this year, as in he's 2-2. With a lot of other people's schedules, he'd either be 4-0 or 3-1. So a little bit unlucky to start, and maybe he could turn it around, but it's also Zach is in third with 34-10, and then Cherry's right there, 28-16. So maybe that makes me lean a little bit.
What would I be?
5-39.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's move on from them.
But yeah, I think there's a little bit, looking at that, Cherry might be towards the lower, but just that easy schedule, like, I'm gonna recheck, but because he finished so bad last year, he has
Me
still
twice.
on the schedule. Do you already play him?
What?
Yeah. So he has you again. He has Matt twice, including this week. He's got Steve twice. The teams he has twice are you, Steve, and Matt. which Matt and Steve do look a little bit better than expected, but again, they're still not powerhouses. Still has me on the schedule, who's sitting at 1-3. Still has Evan on the schedule, who might blow it up and tear it down. Like, there's not a ton of hard games, and I think that's why he could sneak in maybe as on paper the fourth best team out of those four. But I think just like schedule and just the way things are working out might be able to sneak in, and I think it's just very up in the air. Really like Griff's depth. It'll be a dog fight, and then we could go from dog fight to dog shit
To mid-off.
Uh,
All right, so I'm gonna go out. Say something bold here. Ethan's making the playoffs.
Ethan, yeah, he's gonna make the playoffs again. That all play record,
Because-
33-11, good for fourth best.
Here is my concerns in this division. Steve and Matt are in second. Steve having the points to be in second place, where Matt's in third, both 2-2. Biggest thing is that the only person in the other division who has less points scored than Steve is me, and that's not something you want to compare yourself to. Anyways,
But he does have the third most in this division.
yeah, fucking somehow. So, maybe that could lead to the third playoff spot. He has been buying some pieces that are kind of more win now moves, so maybe he continues to do so. I know I ask this quite frequently, but I'm not sure how to move on with some of the stuff. Does have a lot of 2026 picks and can move with those
Yeah.
if you wanted to. It's just if you're looking to trade with somebody and they want more immediate picks, it'll be interesting. Matt has been looking better. He just needs Darnell Mooney to not have to be in the roster, at all. I don't think he's very good. I'll say it. This is his third time this year tonight with 0 points. I guess you could give the excuse he might have gotten hurt. He only played 20% of the snaps. But brother, he played 71 against Kansas City, and
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Mooney's not great.
Mooney's not. Darnell Mooney sucks. You, Adam, you confuse me because you are second in this division for points scored, yet you continue to trade away stuff.
Yeah. I do have, again, looking at that, I'm 22-22 with everything, but I'm 1-3. If you look at my schedule comparison, a lot of the way down I'm 2-2. A few places I'm 3-1. A few more places I'm still 1-3. But it does seem like I'm a little bit underperforming, kind of what my points for are, getting a little bit unlucky, and then
And going back to the Kyle Pitts well.
yeah, man, love Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, you love 3 points a week.
Yep. But I don't know. I think in this division, Steve's got a bit of a
It's tough.
and it's also you can't even rule out Jasmus or James. Jasmus also 1-3, just got the win, and it's getting Kupp and Eckler back to pair with Amari and I guess A-Chain and Pacheco.
I don't want to talk about Pacheco.
The receivers are not great, and he also he only has 1 first in 2026 and some seconds, so maybe he could trade for some stuff, but it's also these guys are getting old, so if you trade for it and really push for it just to sneak into the playoff, the damage it could do to your future. So I think that's
Yeah.
up in the air of do you buy or sell. If you look at schedule wise, he
Oh, baby. Just the man I want to see.
These are still going.
still going.
Still going. Bonus segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
The Wendy's segment?
Wendy's.
The Wendy's
not.
and Sons.
Yeah, I don't know with Jasmus. He has the hardest, or Matt has the hardest remaining strength of schedule. Looking at wins wise, looking at points wise, it's Jasmus. So he's gonna play a lot of teams scoring points. Again, we talked about how he had that easy schedule kind of, and didn't turn it around. Has Steve Cherry, but like has Trevor twice, has Ethan twice. Those are not teams you want to play twice. And I don't know, man. This James too. We talked about the super hard schedule to the easy. So right now, if you had to predict the 3 playoff teams, who are you saying?
I'm saying Ethan.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Do I have to say 2 more?
Yeah.
Ah, shit. All right. I'm gonna go with you and Jasmus. I still think your team is solid, despite the fact that you just throwing players at people. I think that what's gonna really help you is that you have a decent depth. It's not amazing, but
I traded away all my depth. Yeah. I have a problem trading away players for firsts.
then draft players that you trade away for first.
It's a great cycle of being bad. I don't know. I'm going to go with Ethan. I still think I could get there. And then I also do like Steve's rest of season schedule. And I do think he's kind of has some depth. And I feel like Steve wants it.
Yeah.
I feel like Steve, like, counted out, coming back, maybe makes a trade. It's also like if we see like a second half breakout from a Kincaid, if we could see Michael Wilson build on his performance last week, if Ford keeps this up and kind of stays as RB1 there, Hyatt or Miller, if they could turn into anything as the season goes on, plus maybe trades a second for he's talked about trading for a running back, so maybe he goes and gets another running back. I don't know. I think Steve wants it, but we'll probably talk about this in like 2 to 3 weeks. Come back and be like, wow, Steve sucks, and
Steve's 2-5.
and Matt's actually undefeated. Matt's 5-2. Like,
yeah.
well, same thing with your division. We'll be like, wow, we thought Griff was gonna be the best team ever, and now he's 4-3.
And now Ryan's 3-4. No,
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But yeah, our food and drinks are here. Real end of the episode.